Welcome to Space Mysteries, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. On August 2, 2025, Guangzhou Baiyun International Airport pulsed with its usual energy, a sprawling hub connecting millions across continents. The terminals echoed with the sounds of rolling suitcases, distant announcements, and the steady hum of anticipation that defines one of Asia's busiest airports. Passengers, lost in their own worlds, hurried through the gleaming halls, weaving between check-in counters and security lines. Most were focused on their journeys ahead, unaware of the tension quietly building beneath the surface, a tension that had been growing for weeks. Out on the tarmac, an unusual and unsettling sight caught the eye of the observant. A long row of China Southern's iconic Boeing 787 Dreamliners parked in silence. Their engines, once symbols of progress and ambition, now sat eerily still, as if holding their breath. Maintenance crews moved with a sense of finality, not preparing these aircraft for their next journey, but instead methodically shutting them down, perhaps for the last time. The usual pre-flight routines were replaced by somber procedures, signaling a dramatic shift. Seasoned pilots and ground staff exchanged uneasy glances, their faces etched with concern. They sensed that something monumental was unfolding, something that would ripple far beyond the airport's perimeter. For weeks, whispers of a drastic decision had circulated in hushed tones among the staff. Today those rumors felt more real than ever, as small groups gathered in corners, sharing anxious speculation about the future. The departure boards continued to flicker with global destinations, London, Sydney, New York, reminding everyone of the airport's reach. Yet, the fate of the Dreamliners, once the pride of China Southern's long-haul fleet, was now shrouded in uncertainty. Behind the scenes, long-haul routes were being hastily reassigned. The Dreamliners, once the airline's flagship, were quietly being moved away from the main gates, their future hanging in the balance as new aircraft took their place. For most travelers, it was just another day, a blur of boarding passes, coffee cups, and waiting lounges. Few noticed the subtle changes unfolding around them, or the sense of finality in the air. But for the airline, this was more than a routine shift. It marked the end of an era, a turning point that would redefine its identity and future strategy. China Southern, a giant in the aviation world, was on the verge of making a decision that would send shockwaves through the industry, challenging assumptions and reshaping the skies. The storm that had been brewing for so long was no longer just a rumor or a distant threat. It had arrived, casting a shadow over the airport and its fleet. The fate of the Dreamliner at China Southern was about to change forever, marking the beginning of a new and uncertain chapter in the airline's storied history. The news broke quietly, a press release, corporate and measured, but seismic in impact. What seemed like just another routine announcement from a major airline quickly sent shockwaves through the industry. The language was calm, but the implications were anything but. China Southern Airlines, Asia's largest carrier and a symbol of China's aviation ambitions, announced it would phase out its entire Boeing 787 Dreamliner fleet. This wasn't just a minor adjustment or a routine fleet update, it was a sweeping, unexpected decision that caught everyone off guard. The aviation world was stunned, analysts scrambled to make sense of the move, and journalists rushed to cover the breaking story. Social media buzzed with speculation and disbelief. Airlines don't just retire young modern jets. These aircraft represent billions in investment and are typically the pride of any fleet. The Dreamliner in particular is known for its efficiency and advanced technology. The Dreamliner had been central to China Southern's international ambitions, opening new long-haul routes and connecting China to cities across the globe. It was a cornerstone of their growth strategy, enabling the airline to compete on the world stage. These weren't aging planes, the oldest was barely a decade old. Most were even newer, equipped with the latest features and comforts for passengers. Their early retirement raised eyebrows everywhere. Retiring them early meant a massive financial hit and a dramatic strategy reversal. The decision would cost the airline hundreds of millions if not more, and force a complete rethink of its future plans. Industry insiders were left asking why. What could drive such a radical move from a state-owned giant, known for stability and careful planning? Was it technical issues, political pressure, or something else entirely? The decision signaled a major disruption, not just for China Southern but for Boeing and the global aviation industry. The ripple effects would be felt by manufacturers, suppliers, and competitors worldwide. The aftershocks were only beginning. Stock prices wavered and uncertainty spread through boardrooms and airports alike. The world's eyes turned to Guangzhou, searching for answers. Reporters camped outside headquarters, and industry watchers speculated about what would come next. The Dreamliner's future in China was suddenly in doubt. What had once been a symbol of progress now stood as a question mark, its fate uncertain as the world waited for the next move. To understand the shock, you have to know what the Dreamliner represents. The Boeing 787 was a technological leap, lighter, more fuel-efficient, and designed for passenger comfort. Airlines worldwide embraced it, using its range and efficiency to open new routes. China Southern operated both major variants, making the Dreamliner a flagship of its long-haul fleet. Passengers loved the larger windows, quieter cabins, and reduced jet lag. For an airline to walk away from such a popular, advanced aircraft is almost unheard of. The Dreamliner is a symbol of modern aviation. The reasons for its retirement had to be extraordinary. The world waited to hear them. The cracks in the Dreamliner's story had been forming for a while. Boeing's 787 program was plagued by production and quality control issues, causing delivery delays and forced groundings. For China Southern, these disruptions meant lost revenue and operational headaches. The uncertainty around inspections and future directives made the Dreamliner a risky asset. Maintenance for composite aircraft like the 787 is complex and costly, possibly more than China Southern bargained for. The airline may have concluded that the costs and risks outweighed the benefits. Even if the plane was safe, the constant negative headlines hurt its reputation. For a state-owned carrier, perception matters as much as reality. Retiring the fleet was a bold move to eliminate future risk. Certainty, not potential, became the new priority. Beyond technical issues, this was a strategic shift, a deliberate move that signaled a new direction for the airline and perhaps for the entire Chinese aviation sector. The decision to retire a major aircraft type wasn't just about maintenance or performance. It was about aligning with a broader vision for the future. China's aviation industry is changing fast, with homegrown manufacturers like COMAC rising to prominence. The government has invested heavily in developing domestic aircraft, aiming to reduce reliance on foreign technology and foster innovation within its borders. By retiring the 787, China Southern could clear the way for the domestic C-929 wide-body jet, a symbol of national pride and technological progress. This move not only supports local industry but also positions the airline as a leader in adopting next-generation Chinese aircraft. Supporting a national champion aligns with Beijing's push for technological self-sufficiency. The government's Made in China initiative encourages companies to prioritize domestic products, and China Southern's fleet decisions reflect this policy. Fleet simplification is another factor. Fewer aircraft types mean lower costs, streamlined training, and easier operations. Managing a diverse fleet is expensive and complex, so focusing on a smaller number of models can boost efficiency and reliability. The Airbus A350, already in China Southern's fleet, could become the new backbone for long-haul routes. Its advanced technology, fuel efficiency, and passenger comfort make it an ideal choice for the airline's evolving network. The airline may also be shifting focus from long and thin routes, those with fewer passengers over long distances, to high-density trunk routes, favoring larger aircraft that can carry more people between major cities. This strategy matches China's growing demand for air travel on its busiest corridors. The Dreamliner, once the perfect tool for opening new, less-traveled routes, no longer fit the new strategy. Its unique strengths became less relevant as the airline's priorities changed. This was about more than planes. It was about the future direction of China's aviation industry and about making bold choices that would shape the next decade of growth and competition. The move was calculated, not just reactive. It reflected careful analysis, long-term planning, and a willingness to adapt to new realities in the global aviation market. China Southern was setting the stage for a new era, one defined by innovation, national ambition, and a clear vision for the skies ahead. Officially, it's about business. Unofficially, safety and politics loom large. Boeing's reputation has suffered from years of manufacturing issues, and China's regulators are famously cautious. Even if the 787 is safe, the airline may have grown tired of the ongoing problems. For a state-owned carrier, projecting reliability is everything. Geopolitics also plays a role. Moving away from a flagship American product sends a message. In an era of US-China tension, supporting domestic industry is both strategic and symbolic. The decision is a blend of business, safety and politics, a perfect storm. China Southern chose to control its destiny, not be at the mercy of foreign suppliers. The Dreamliner's fate was sealed by more than just technical issues. China Southern's move sent shockwaves through the industry. Other airlines watched closely, but most won't follow suit. Few have a domestic alternative like COMAC. For major 787 operators, the decision raises questions but doesn't trigger a mass exodus. Instead, airlines may use China Southern's example as leverage in negotiations with Boeing. The pressure on Boeing to fix its production issues has never been higher. Airbus, meanwhile, will seize the moment, promoting the stability of its A350. Airlines on the fence may now lean toward Airbus, seeing it as the safer bet. The competition between Boeing and Airbus just got fiercer. China Southern's decision is reshaping the global fleet landscape. The biggest blow lands on Boeing. Losing China Southern as a 787 customer is a financial and reputational setback. It signals lost revenue, lost orders, and a loss of confidence in a key market. Boeing now faces an uphill battle to regain trust in China. For travelers, the change will be felt in subtle ways: route changes, different aircraft, and possibly fewer direct options. Some may miss the Dreamliner's comfort, while others may see little difference if the A350 takes over. If replacements are slow, fares could rise and options shrink. The ripple effects will touch millions of passengers worldwide. One airline's decision in Guangzhou will be felt across continents. The Dreamliner's absence will be noticed by more than just aviation insiders. China Southern's Dreamliner exit is a landmark moment in aviation. It's a calculated response to operational headaches, shifting strategy, and a changing geopolitical climate. The move paves the way for a simplified fleet and a possible embrace of China's own wide-body jets. For Boeing, it's a wake-up call. For Airbus, an opportunity. For travelers, a sign of change. The Dreamliner era at China Southern is over, but a new chapter is beginning. The airline is prioritizing stability, efficiency, and national alignment. Analysts will study this decision for years to come. As the last Dreamliners leave, the skies over China will look different. August 2025 will be remembered as the day China Southern charted a bold new course. The Dreamliner dream is over, but a new reality is taking flight.